It's a story that we first broke last night. Lockport police confirming that a bus from El Paso dropped off several dozen asylum seekers in the suburb without warning. Now we're learning of other suburbs having that exact same experience. Casey Cronus is live downtown with the latest developments. Casey?
Tia, we just got confirmation from Illinois State Police that yesterday troopers responded to Illinois Route 50 in Piatone, where about a dozen migrants were walking in the roadway. They had been dropped off with no direction on where to go. Will County emergency management officials helped transport them to Chicago's landing zone, located near Des Plaines and Taylor Streets. That is where all migrants need to be registered when arriving from Texas. But earlier this week, city officials said many bus drivers have tried to skirt the law by taking new arrivals to suburbs without notifying those cities.
This is the original Lone Wolf coming at y'all with kind of a brief update on this migrant shit. I'm going to do a separate video for the update on the gun ban because, you know, everybody, they've been on bullshit. They've been striking down all of the motions to have a temporary injunction put in place on the registry. All right, it's all been shot down. Everybody that's came forward and tried to get one, so I'm gonna have to do a separate video on that. It's stupid. It's gonna take more time. But this right here is just an update just on the migrant situation alone. All right, now you just heard what this person just said about how the fucking bus drivers that are coming out of Texas, they're just dropping, allegedly, they're dropping migrants off in this. Piatone is a south suburb of Chicago. It's maybe about 50 miles, maybe 50, 60 miles outside of Chicago, Piatone, but it's a south suburb of Chicago. Now, y'all heard that the lady just said something about they just dropping people off wherever. They defying the orders of where they're supposed to specifically take them. Remember when I did that video a couple of weeks ago where I was telling y'all how the governor said out his own mouth that they had been just pulling up big-ass coach buses now? Anybody who have been on a coach bus, you know, a coach bus basically like a Greyhound bus, but, you know, a little bit more nicer. You know what I'm saying? These are big, giant coach buses that they're letting these people off. Remember the governor said they was letting them off at the Sears Tower? Well, the Willis Tower. But whatever, I'm from Chicago. We don't fucking call it the Willis Tower. He had already said that out of his mouth, right? Now, the chump-ass mayor was supposed to pass some sort of bullshit that made it illegal or unlawful for you to just drop them off at the Sears Tower or wherever. So now you all are looking at some shit that was just posted from Channel 32 Fox News here in Chicago, where they telling you almost 14 hours ago that these motherfuckers done dropped some people off in Piatone, right? But anyway, let me just go back a little bit, and we'll go forward.
Zone, located near Des Plaines and Taylor Streets. That is where all migrants need to be registered when arriving from Texas. But earlier this week, city officials said many bus drivers have tried to skirt the law by taking new arrivals to suburbs without notifying those cities. Yesterday, 3 incidents were reported. In addition to Piatone, Kankakee officials say that upwards of 40 migrants were brought to a gas station there. And as we mentioned,
okay, so Kankakee is also another south suburb, right? Now, here's a couple of things that you guys need to understand, right? Because right now, y'all already know where I'm going with this. Anybody who watch my channel, y'all already know. My question is, what is the motive behind this? Here it is. You got some fucking bus drivers coming out of Texas, right? Wherever the fuck they are, El Paso, San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth, Corpus Christi, Tyler, wherever the fuck they coming from, right? What is the motive behind these bus drivers just having clear and specific routes and directions as to where to take these people, specific addresses as to where to drop them off? But they not doing that. They just dropping them off wherever the fuck they want to. What's the motive behind that? If it's true, right? If it's true. Because I like to play devil's advocate. You know what I'm saying? I like to take what they tell me and scrutinize it and dissect it and pretend to try to get the best angle possible. And to me, it's always been the most effective way when you don't have all of the variables. You dig? Now, the other thing you guys need to understand for anybody who's not an Illinois native or who don't know a whole lot about this landscape, Piatone is very rural. So is Kankakee. Kankakee is a very small town. Very small. I'm talking about very town. Because Kankakee, that's down there by Mantino and all that other shit. Right? I used to go down to the Kankakee River down there with my little air rifles and shit to the hunting grounds and shit that they got down there. You dig? I took my son down there a couple of times. It's very wide open. And you guys need to understand that. Okay? Because that's one of the first things that jump out at me, right along with me saying, well, why the hell would they just, you know what I'm saying? Here it is. You're supposed to bring these people here. You got the information. They giving it to you when you load these people up on the bus and shit. And you got GPS tracking and all this other stuff on these buses and everything. Why are you dropping these people off at a gas station in the middle of the fucking nowhere? But anyway, continue.
A viewer in Lockport shared this video with us, showing migrants boarding Park District buses to be brought back to Chicago for check-in. Meanwhile, in Aurora today, a special meeting was held to put measures in place that prohibit buses from making unscheduled stops. The mayor saying they will welcome anyone with open arms, but
now, Aurora is a western suburb, right? But it's still wide open. Aurora is not that big of a town. Well, village or whatever. I don't know if it's a town or a village. I'm not exactly sure about that part. But it's not very big. Put it that way. You got a lot of Mexicans in Aurora. You got a lot of poor white trash. Excuse my language. I ain't trying to be racist or none. But you got what a motherfucker would consider to be a lot of poor white trash in Aurora. And you definitely got a lot of our people down there. And it's fucked up. From what I'm hearing, Aurora ain't, you got to kind of tiptoe through Aurora. You fuck around and get robbed. But again, what does it have in common with Peatone and Kankakee? It's wide open. It's wide open. Continue.
Protocol needs to be followed.
We simply cannot have a situation as exists where buses drop off at the side of the road, which include families and children, with only what they...
But again, to my fellow YouTube subscribers, again, why would they do this? Why, man? So you're telling me you got people coming that got on these buses from a whole nother country. They started out in a destination we know of as Texas, right? Let's just play the game, right? These buses are supposed to be coming from Texas. They've been telling us that from day one. So you mean to tell me you hired a bus driver to drive a giant coach bus, because the buses y'all just seen them being loaded on, those was vehicles here in Illinois that they was being loaded on too. Those weren't the buses they got off of. These motherfuckers are getting off of coach buses. You mean to tell me you just dropping motherfucking men, women, and children off in the middle of nowhere? After you've been given specific instructions to take these people here. Here's the addresses up in Chicago. Nigga, Chicago is not Peatone. Kankakee is not Chicago. Aurora is not Chicago. What in the fuck are you doing? Why would you do that? Allegedly, right? Because keep in mind, y'all know me. There's always more to it than what the hell they tell us. But we just playing the game. Why would they do that, man?
Carry on their persons, and with no protection against the winter weather, and no further direction on where to go and what to do. To allow this situation to continue is unacceptable and contrary to the city's values of treating all people, regardless of their origin, with dignity, respect, and care. To do nothing would be irresponsible.
And Aurora Mayor Richard Irvin says that is exactly what happened earlier this week. Several buses showed up in downtown Aurora, leaving migrants there with no instruction or no direction on what to do. Now, Mayor Brandon Johnson has implemented harsher penalties for bus drivers who arrive to Chicago without following the rules. And in response, earlier this week, Texas Governor Greg Abbott chartered a private plane from Texas to O'Hare carrying about 100 migrants. Reporting live downtown.
So what is this, man? What is this? You people down in Texas, man. What the fuck is going on? Right? The sister Michelle, I think you down in Texas somewhere, right? Ain't you down there? What in the fuck is going on, man? What the fuck, man? What is this? You the fucking governor and you get on a plane and you fly to O'Hare Airport with 100 of these fucking people? What are we dealing with? Listen, I'll tell you what we dealing with. It's an invasion, people. This is one of the reasons for why y'all hearing me talk more and more about our own people. This is one of the reasons why y'all hearing me make the videos about, like I said, about the Zionist thing and all that. I'm not saying it ain't true, man. I ain't saying it's not true. I'm not saying that the things that people point out in history is not true. I'm just saying, can we talk about all of the key players? So Brandon Johnson is supposed to put strict penalties in place for people that are bus drivers that arrive to Chicago that don't follow the rules. What are these penalties, man? Now, y'all heard that out your own mouth. All she said was penalties. What are the penalties, man? Did this nigga foul out? Do he get ejected from the game? Do the other motherfucker get to shoot some free throws? What is the penalty? Do you lose 10 yards? You know, is it like a face mask penalty? Is it defense encroachment? What's the penalty? What are gonna be the consequences? You understand what I'm saying? What are the consequences for this shit? So again, like I said, Brandon Johnson is a key player. I understand he's a puppet. That's the other part too. This is the thing that I be saying when I get on here and I tell you, I'm not arguing with y'all, man. I'm not trying to say that what a motherfucker is putting out is wrong or incorrect or they don't know what they talking about. I'm just saying, look, man, we got to talk about a little bit more than just, you know, some sort of fucking Ashkenazi or some sort of shit that's going on in Israel or Hezbollah or wherever the fuck these places is. That's all I'm saying. This is an invasion, man. This is my ending of this. This is an invasion. This is the reason for why I got to get the fuck out of here. I cannot stand for this. I can't tolerate this. I can't do it by myself. Ain't nobody else standing up and talking about nothing. Ain't nobody really talking the way they should be talking. Ain't nobody really telling you that these people are coming to this fucking country and to this particular landmass we know of as Illinois and Chicago and all this other shit. They're coming here to wage war. Why on God's green earth would a bus driver just ignore his duties? Now, I didn't rode on Greyhound and shit. I took a Greyhound bus home from Massachusetts. I took a Greyhound bus from here to California and back and went out there again and came back. I did it twice. Took me 2 fucking days to get there. Why would you have all of these people on these buses and then you just drop them off where? Why would they do that, man? And then, like how I told y'all, please understand this, because anybody that's in Illinois, they can attest to this. Those areas that they just brought up are rural areas. The towns are not that big. You got cornfields, man. Don't you understand that? Illinois is known for corn. Just like fucking Wisconsin is like known for cheese and shit like that. Illinois is known for corn. You ain't got no but cornfields out there in them areas that you just heard them name. Fucking Peatone? Are you sick? Really, bro? You took them to a gas station in the middle of nowhere in Peatone? Are you serious, bro? This is the stuff that irritate me, y'all. Because nobody wants to talk about how Brandon Johnson is playing a big ass role in this. They had already told you that they was looking into putting them into different areas throughout the state. They've already told you this. This is going back to the stuff that people like Jim Redwood been talking about how they was training, right? The nigga was just doing a live earlier. Just talking about it just a minute ago. He was doing a live talking about these niggas training. He talking about where he at. This nigga in Arizona. And I'm telling y'all the same fucking thing. You know how far away I am from Jim Redwood? And I'm telling y'all the same thing. They doing that shit here, man. They doing the same thing. Peatone is a perfect place to train, Jim Redwood. You know why? Because it's wide the fuck open. Ain't nobody down there, man. Same thing with Kankakee. You got a bunch of rivers and streams and wide open fucking greenery and cornfields. This is Original Longwood, man. I'm out of here. I'm not finna fucking turn my Saturday into this. I love y'all, man. I try to point this shit out at every turn and every cost. It's not just no fucking Ashkenazis that's doing this, man. Our people are helping them. And this shit needs to be addressed. And if you want to understand the type of motherfuckers that's our people that are helping them, you don't have to go no further than the mayor of Chicago. I'm out.